Welcome to Knights TV. Tonight, the home side hosts Heidelberg United in what could be considered a season-defining match for Andrew Marth's squad in round 8 of the PS4 NPL. 3 successive wins in league and cup competition saw the Knights head into last week's match against league leaders Avondale full of momentum. Despite a positive opening to the match, the Knights didn't live up to expectations, eventually falling 3-0. While the Knights' previous 2 losses of the season have seen the club immediately bounce back with a win, Heidelberg head into the clash in red-hot form, having notched up an impressive 15 goals in their past 3 games. Recent history between the two clubs does not read well for the Knights. In the past 10 encounters, the Burghers have claimed victory in 8 of them, with the Knights managing just the 1 win back in 2015. The Knights fans will be hoping for a change in fortunes and a return to form tonight. Mark Van Aken with you. And we're underway. Friday night's football, and Heidelberg looking to go on the attack immediately. It's you. Speaking to Andrew Marth post-game, he wasn't too critical of his winger. Just explaining he's still very young, still learning the craft, and really can't be expected to perform at the top level week in, week out. Now, Ben Suris came in, he's got the ball. What will the referee make of this? He's certainly getting lots of advice from the Heidelberg players. That's you upon him. Suri being sought out by the referee. And I reckon this just might be a talking to. In fact, no, it is a yellow card coming up in the 6th minute of the game. This ball comes across. Oh, Cahill was there. Was it Cahill? It was. But over the top, just couldn't get the frame high enough. This week, of course, we celebrated the 40th anniversary of the start of the NSL. The Melbourne Knights acknowledging that, of course, Melbourne Knights, or Melbourne Croatia back in the day. Not an original member of the NSL, but certainly an important member of that competition. Maybe pound for pound putting out the best club football side we've seen in this country back in the mid-90s. There's a high boot there. We've already had one waved against the Knights. Knocking against Heidelberg. That's you. And that's why this guy is so good, because he turned nothing very much into something there. And Ken Athieu, the big fella for Heidelberg United. Goals in the 20th minute. But they're going to have to find some very creative ways to goal the Melbourne Knights. I hope for set pieces like this one. Like that one indeed. Like that one indeed. Tommy Cahill. Right place. Right time, and for all those shirts Mark Van Aken Heidelberg had back, they weren't marking their men, and just as I was saying, they're either going to have to get very creative from out wide or score from a set piece. That's exactly what they do. Tommy Cahill in the 22nd minute equalises here at Summer Street. Melbourne Knights 1, Heidelberg United 1, and they're back on the attack now. Cahill from distance. Ooh, forces the save there again from Theodoris Petropoulos. Although Heidelberg is certainly reacting well. Hatch is there. Can he get past Chalmers? He can't, but there's still any Heidelberg. Flag goes up off the post. And they're living dangerously there, the Melbourne Knights. It was a good save. Fraser Chalmers had to come, went off the line. Ball was laid off. And in the end, off the post. Long throw. Some danger here. Athieu, good save. Good save, Fraser Chalmers. He was only about 8 yards out there, Athieu. Probably 8 times out of 10 he would have put that in the back of the net against North Geelong. Swings that one in. Chalmers over the back. There'll be a corner. Too well to get his hands to it. Harris is still a chance here. That was clever there by Heidelberg's defence. But Kamsoba still in. Elvis Kamsoba top. And Elvis Kamsoba. He hasn't had a great game. We've loved him for the first 6 weeks. He wasn't exactly omnipresent last week. It hasn't been his best game tonight. But you give him an inch. He takes a goal. Elvis Kamsoba back on the score sheet. Goal number 5 for season 2017. And the Melbourne Knights, as the clock strikes 62 minutes, take the lead here at Summer Street. First touch was met with a tackle from Heidelberg. They look to come the other way now. Miskelin, no foul. Atu, he's got Ellis to his right. Retreats back to the middle. And that one from Adrian Zara. Well, that one's going to land somewhere in the social club. Now Kamsoba. Kamsoba again, as always, in space. Zvikovic is central. Here he is, Zvikovic. Took a deflection. Heidelberg. To Petreski. They clear. You can only assume the Knights had pulled a bit of a tricky one there by handing in the paperwork for Zadvorny. Although I don't think that's the case, because I think Caleb thought he was coming on. Achoo! And there you go in the 92nd minute. Well, he's been a man threatening all night for Heidelberg United, Kenny Achoo. He's thrown his weight around. He's given away a number of fouls. But there the ball fell to his feet. Didn't get complete purchase on it, got enough. Apologies to Noon if it wasn't him. I was watching the benches, to be fair. Alice, we're about to tick over 94 minutes. Frustration ultimately for the Melbourne Knights coming. And it ends 2 goals apiece here tonight. Goals from Kenny Achoo on the 20th and 92nd minute of the game. On behalf of myself, Mark Van Aken, and the entire Melbourne Knights media team, as always, we bid you a fond farewell. Well, Stabber, I can only imagine the emotions with you at the moment, but just a really, just incredible way to finish the game.
Disappointing, hey. The whole game. I thought our character, our work rate was phenomenal. Our desperation was exceptional. But you know what? If you look at the game and you're a purist of the game and a fair observer of the game, I should say, there was obviously, they probably had one extra player, unfortunately.
Now, in terms of Elvis, what did you make of his game? He spoke last week. He was out of the action. He was almost unsighted in the first half. It just grafted his way in, and then we saw the Elvis that, again, I've known to get the man crush on for the first 6 weeks of the season in the last half hour tonight. Yeah, definitely. You give Elvis time and space, and he'll do things to teams. And obviously, it was a proven fact again today. A great finish and a couple of somersaults that obviously pleased the crowd to a certain degree. How many somersaults, mate? Did you count them? Was it 5? Probably 3 and 1 backflip. So they said 3. I thought it was more than 3, mate. I didn't see you do any somersaults after the goal, mate. Now, look, on the serious note, it is obviously deflating to end the game on that way. How hard is it? Because we spoke last week, it's a young team. You're still looking for a consistent sort of effort week in, week out. You couldn't fault the effort, as you've touched on tonight. So how do you get the boys back up on Monday or Tuesday at training after that end? Oh, it's a big game against Banyule. If they can't get up on Monday for training, they're not worthy of playing for Melbourne Knights. As far as I'm concerned, this is done and dusted. We've lost 2 points here today. We lost 2 points against Tume in the first round, and possibly 1 or 2 points either Pascoe Vale or Kingston. So you accumulate those points, and we're thereabouts. So it is disappointing, but we got FFA Cup to look forward to on Thursday. Now, to state the obvious, without getting too controversial, did get a bit testy in the last half hour, to be honest, and plenty going on towards the end. But, in terms of that, what's, again, the message for the boys and the club coming out of that? Oh, just, keep their heads to a certain degree. As I said, there were some harsh decisions and challenges that didn't go our way, and natural progression, you've got to lose your temper to a certain degree. And I spoke to the referee, Jack, just after the game, and had a good conversation with him. And as I said, everyone's not perfect. So obviously he admitted he'd done some mistakes, and everyone makes mistakes. No one's perfect. So unfortunately, the mistakes went against us today. Yeah, I mean, that's all you want to hear sometimes, isn't it? That, yes, say, look, sorry, mate, made a mistake, go from there. And again, I'm not trying to cost you or the club any dollars, so we'll leave it at that, I think, Stabber. And, of course, FFA Cup back in action this week. Yeah, exactly right. Looking forward to a tough game against Banyule. Right on. Thank you.